What's going on YouTube? Team Starcraft here, the YouTube channel dedicated to bringing you the best in Starcraft 2 team game content. We've got some 2v2 action for you here today. As you know, we do have the heroes of the channel, aka Braincrusher, aka 2-base Mutalisk, spawning as the Zerg in the lower left corner. He will be allied with none other than me, Team SC, playing as the Purple Terran. Today we have a 2v2 match. We are up against Coco the Chimp from the Lost One clan, and also his partner, which is Lost One Sheer Bits, playing as the blue Protoss. Now the map we're on, I actually forgot what the map name is, but this is a 2v2 style map. Now the players can spawn in any of these four corners, so you don't know where the enemy team is at until you spawn. You can either spawn cross spawn, which will probably result in a couple of ridiculous long games. There's one tower here in the middle, and each expansion does have two relatively easy bases to take down here with a conjoined ramp. Third bases do get tricky because there's a front gold here, and then there's a gold off to the side, but then there's this high ground here which makes it easy to snipe out the golds. And there's four golds around the center. Watchtower should be able to scout those, and then there's four other golds kind of off to the side. So all in all, definitely interesting match. We do have Braincrusher opening up with a with a hatch first, it looks like, taking a quick expansion, pool going down, and gas 2, no doubt, trying to get the speedlings out. I am choosing to open up with barracks. I got my gas first. I'm going to open up with factory. Since Legacy of the Void came out, I think my go-to build is Hellions, and to Hellion Cyclones, and then late game follow up with Liberators. And then haven't really figured out too much after that. As you know, Legacy of the Void is still new. Sheer Bits does getting a probe in here, is going to scout out what we are doing. I think we are still playing in the dark right now. I don't know if we sent out a scout yet. Nope, SCV is running around the map trying to find out where these enemy spawns are. And there is an Overlord who we're going to kiss. There's going to be an Overlord kiss going on Deep Space. Isn't that cute? Do have Sheer Bits going for very quick nexus before Gateway and Cybercore. Well, one Gateway, but Cybercore is barely coming up. Is transferring half of his probes down, going to be chrono boosting for both nexuses. That way you don't have to transfer or rally workers later. Coco the Chimp does have an expansion up. SCV for me is going to arrive here and scout this out. Do get cornered off by the probes. Clicking on the minerals to try to run through the workers is a little tricky to do, but do get here. SCV has a seizure and SCV does go down. That is unfortunate, but we did get the intel I needed. We did see that Protoss was expanding going into our view, and we did see some creep here, so we do know the Zerg has a base up as well. This prompts me to get my command center going. Command center is half done, going to be getting some Hellions out, but at this point we are currently behind because they went for expansion first, unless we can put on some early pressure and try to get a couple worker kills to even it out. Because this guy's next is already done. Sheer Bits is macroing, building 2 probes at a time instead of 1. Economy is going up for the opposing team. Braincrusher does have his hatch down, so it looks like he will be stable with the other Zerg as far as economy going. Throwing down a couple blind spores just in case. We didn't get good intel, not sure what the Protoss could be doing. Oracle Cheese. Early game oracles was a thing, although we shouldn't be expecting it because the Protoss went for early expansion, so it'll probably be a while. But Braincrusher likes to play it safe. You know, doesn't take any risks. A couple Hellions going out. Command center is done, going to be morphing into an orbital command. Speed on the production tab for Braincrusher, and also on the production tab for Coco the Chimp. Forge going down as well for Sheer Bits. Going to be dropping down the second factory. Third one should come here soon. I usually open up with one factory, put that first one on the reactor, then the other ones I switch off with the tech labs and use the barracks to get the tech lab add-ons. Orbital command moving up, going to be taking that expansion right now. A couple of Hellions out on the map for me, going to try to see if I can get a couple probe snipes. That guy got an expansion so early, we'll see if anything happens. Hellions are going to run up, trying to go for the probes. Couple roaches here. Do decide to back out, don't go for the workers. See the roaches coming, decide to move my Hellions, don't want to lose them. Trying to get a couple workers here, a couple lings here for Braincrusher. Stalker is going to go down, trying to block off the Hellions, and these Hellions, one very low HP, are going to back out. Did stall some mining time for Sheer Bits. He didn't lose too many workers, but the Hellions did stay alive, which is what matters. You don't want to go throwing your units away. As long as you keep them out in the here, we do have some map control and can put on pressure and keep these watchtowers going. Does look like So Ling run by for Braincrusher did manage to get a couple Lings into the main base. Also installed a little bit of mining for this guy. Looks like he pulled him off. I wonder how many Lings he actually got up there. He had a handful. I thought they all died here on the ramp. But we do have more Lings coming out for Braincrusher. Expansion is going down. Do have 2 factories getting the Magfield Accelerate upgrade, which doubles the damage your Cyclones do to armored air and ground units. Adds 400 damage to total lock-on, which is 14 seconds. They do 400 damage over 14 seconds. With this upgrade, they do 800 to armored. So they become very good anti-big armored slow thing units. Braincrusher is morphing into a lair, dropping down double Evo chamber to get those upgrades going, and probably go for the roach speed upgrade. I do have Hellion Cyclones out, getting my gas going as quick as I can, because you do need a lot of gas to pay for these Cyclones, and more if you want to get the upgrades for your Hellions and your Cyclones. Braincrusher is going to start spreading the creep. Does have a couple Lings out on the map hanging out here, checking the gold base, checking the ramp. Looks like they are gearing up for a 2 base push. Coco the Chimp is going for roaches, and Shearbits is going for blink stalkers. +1 attack almost done for him. Roach speed on the way for Shearbits. They will no doubt move out once the speed is done. Throwing some defensive photon cannons for Shearbits in the main base. Don't want any Mutalisks or cheesy harass from us in there. Do send some Vitas out to scout, but they do get sniped out. A lot of Hellion Cyclones here. Go into tree trying to push up, see what damage you can do. Lings going to the front. Cyclones getting some good lock-ons. This is what you got to do. You got to get the Cyclones at the back to lock onto the stuff, but you want to keep them alive. You want to try to keep the Zerglings and the Hellions in front. Cyclones moving in, trying to get some more lock-ons, but a lot of the Zerglings are down. We're going to have to back out of there. It's a little bit too much. Trying to get a micro as much as we can, but Braincrusher does lose a good chunk of his Lings, but the Cyclones do some decent damage, take out a couple of units. 2 kills on that one. 1. More roaches coming in for Braincrusher. Meanwhile, Braincrusher is expanding to the gold base. Does look like they are waiting for the upgrades to push. Blink's about half done, getting +2 attack. Just barely started for the North team. 1-1 going down, and roach speed almost done for Coco the Chimp. Getting ready to do that push. Robo Bay is also going down for Shearbits as well. Scan going down to see what they have. Just rallying more troops, and this is kind of have to do. Cyclone's a very micro-intensive unit, but they are very good for map control. If they're pushing across with a big army, you want to try to micro, get some lock-ons, just slowly retreat back to your base and pick off what you can. Cyclone's getting some good lock-ons, taking a good chunk of roaches. Some more roaches here for Braincrusher, trying to buffer. Just trying to micro back as good as I can. Oh, no, took away from the action, sorry. And Cyclones Blink does counter the Cyclones very well. You want to get the Cyclones as quick as possible. Cyclones trying to micro back, get as many lock-ons as they can, but are losing a good amount of Cyclones. Have to retreat up this ramp, getting some lock-ons and backing out, trying to micro against the roaches. Couple more roaches spawning for Braincrusher, getting some more lock-ons. Roaches are armored, so Cyclones do very good damage against the roaches, chasing them down. Going to be getting the final locks. Couple stalkers here, but more roaches are rallying for Braincrusher. And these stalkers are going to be forced to retreat. Do manage to hold the push. Cyclones do very good damage against, armored units. So stalkers and roaches and Cyclones are good. Hellions are very good to have with your Cyclones. They do help to counter anything that messes with the Cyclones. Little things are good against Cyclones, like Zerglings and stuff, Zealots, but the Hellions are good against Zerglings and Zealots. So Hellion Cyclone is pretty good army composition against the Protoss and a Zerg. Probably not so good against Terran. Bio does deal with Hellion Cyclone very well. Going to be taking third bases now. Looks like Protoss is going to try to take a hidden gold base up top. Meanwhile, he's building a forward pylon. The aggression's not over. They're still trying to keep it up. Going for Templar Archives to probably get some High Templars in this mix and get some storms going. Braincrusher's gold base is down. Is fortifying it with some defensive spines and spores. Spreading the creep a little bit. Team SC, me taking the gold base now. Need to get these gases and minerals up and running as soon as possible. Throwing down armories to try to get the upgrades. Did extend up to 2 more factories. A couple of Braincrusher roaches here hanging out. I think they ran something by to try to do a little harass earlier, or it's just a misrally for him. Hopefully he finds them. Anyways, going to be pushing forward with the Hellion Cyclone Ball, trying to see what's going on, trying to pick off a couple stalkers if possible. Going to try to go close and lock onto this. Do get some solid lock-ons, do back out, and those stalkers just drop like butter. Cyclones destroy stalkers, getting some good lock-ons. Probably not the best opportunity to blink for him. Getting more lock-ons on the Stalkers, just microing backwards. Picking off a lot. These roaches are doing a good job buffering the hits for the Cyclones. All the Hellions have fallen at this point. Getting some lock-ons on the Ravagers. Ravagers are not armored units anymore, but Cyclones still do a good job. A lot of those Ravagers falling. A lot of those Ravagers getting knocked down to the red zone. Getting more lock-ons now. Microing back. Roaches from Braincrusher coming to the front, trying to buffer for these Cyclones, and it does look like these Cyclones are doing work, dodging all the corrosive bile shots and picking off the Stalkers. Stalkers having to pull back. As you can see, look how fast those Stalkers go down against the Cyclones. Even chasing the Stalkers down, they are going to blink to get out of there. More Hellions and Roaches coming to the team, and we do manage to push them back and delay the aggression. Hellion is going to go scout to try to find any hidden expansions. A couple of Zerglings for Braincrusher here, also scouting out to see about the expansions. There is a hatch over here though. Hellion is going to find this hidden gold base, moving the Hellion Cyclone Ball up top to try to pressure. A couple of Roaches for Braincrusher down at the ramp, going to get sniped off by Coco the Chimp and Sheer Bits. Coming over here trying to do some damage to this Nexus, but the ball of Protoss units is coming back. Zerglings here do manage to find the hatch and have to force it to cancel because 2 Zerglings is enough to hold this off. Trying to focus down the Nexus, but deciding to get back out of there. Do get some lock-ons on. More Cyclones coming and just trying to micro back out of there. A lot of those Stalkers just evaporating with the Cyclone damage per second. Mag Field Accelerator is no joke. Getting more lock-ons, trying to back out of there, and these Stalkers are dropping like flies, going to be chasing them down. And they do try to retreat with those last 3 Stalkers. Meanwhile, we do have Braincrusher over here trying to push towards the main base, run by with a couple Roaches and Hydralisks. They are on move command. These Lings are picking off the Hydras, and Braincrusher just trying to keep them back in their base right now. Rallying to the Watchtower, getting vision, trying to go for the gold base. They do clean up Braincrusher's push to the main base. Meanwhile, they have some Ravagers over here trying to push against our main side. A couple of Hydras and Roaches here. Cyclone coming to help defend this. Not enough here for Braincrusher, needs to back out. Taking engagement, should be taking Stalkers even coming to help. The Hellion Cyclones are here trying to repair a lot of them in the red zone, but they're not going to have time. Going to have to push in now, get some lock-ons and try to micro back as quick as we can. Corrosive Bile does get good hit on the mech army. Going to be moving in with these Cyclones. He's not paying attention to his Stalkers. He's going to lose them all to these Hellions and Cyclones, and all these Stalkers do go down for Sheer Bits. Not paying attention there for a moment, cost him his Stalker Ball. Meanwhile, we do have Coco the Chimp heading back home, trying to macro up, deciding to throw down Infestation Pit and also a Spire. It looks like going to be teching up, trying to get back in this game with maybe some Mutalisk Harask and slowly get up to his lair tech, but he is hurting right now. He needs to get a 3rd base up. Meanwhile, I'm throwing my 4th base up right now. Braincrusher. Our Solomon is looking pretty solid, so we'll see if this works out for us. Protoss, however, does have this gold base still standing. We need to take it out quick, or else they're going to be almost even on terms with us. Ling is going to be going here, denying the Stalker temporary vision of the Watchtower since it is contested, allowing me to move my troops around, trying to go get the snipe on this gold base. Red is moving to take the forward gold because he has to. He has no choice at this point. Candace coming down for Sheer Bits, but might be just a little bit too late coming in. Not much here to defend this base. Going to be getting some lock-ons. These Stalkers have to blink out of there, and so they will just get evaporated against this army. Going to take out this Nexus. Doesn't look like he has many troops left to defend. They are coming by, but there's too many Stalklings here for this Protoss army to engage. He needs to tech up and get some more units in this mix, because these are not going to deal with the Cyclones very well. Nexus does go down. Hellions and Cyclones doing very good damage and holding down the middle game very well against this Roach Ravager Stalker Zealot compilation. Base is going down, sending another Hellion to scout for any hidden bases. Sheer Bit's going to have to back home, hurting pretty bad. 2nd base for Coco the Chimp is coming up. We have not seen it yet. Moving his drones down, go to try to get a little bit of economy. Braincrusher taking his 4th base here. Landing the 4th, should be morphing to Planetary fairly soon. Cyclones are 1-0. We are teching up to Liberators. Got the Fusion Core so we can get the Siege Mode upgrade, which increases the Liberator range by 4. Definitely a must if you build Liberators. It makes them so good. They are very good at the late game. Meanwhile, right now we have slow point. Let me see. Well, you can see a Zergling. Not sure if he has the gold base. A couple Mutalisks are coming, going to repair this turret. Not enough Mutalisks to deal with the turret being mass repaired by the SCVs at this point. A Spore Crawler over here, trying to change up the strat, trying to get some Mutalisk by to try to harass to stall them time so they can get some more bases going. But they are hurting economically. They are still on 2 base, but the Liberators are here and they should counter the Mutalisks fairly well. throwing down a couple more turrets just to make sure nothing happens. Hellion and Blurglings here on patrol on the sidelines. Skull base is going down for sheer bits. Is getting some Templars, trying to get their economy going. Gold base is up for Coco the Chimp. He does have some income coming in now, but we have found this base and we're going to push it, try to siege. Hellion's making a quick look at the Zerglings. Cyclone's getting some lock-ons as well. Going to be moving forward, getting some pretty good lock-ons. A lot more roaches coming down, however, but a couple Liberators are here to help defend this storm coming down on the mech ball. Liberators coming, trying to get that AG mode off to help do some damage on these ground troops, but just trying to micro these Cyclones. Hellion's back. Roach Ravagers here for Braincrusher as well. Liberators are in AG mode doing some good damage to all the ground troops. Liberators are getting focus fired and taken out, but they did do what they needed to do. Ground army is still here trying to clean up everything down here for the Protoss and Zerg. Moving forward, need to get out of those storms. Storm's not the best against mech, but do manage to push them back and also get the snipe on this gold base. More Liberators coming to the front. Cyclones still trying to micro their hearts off, slowly picking off units at the front. Throwing down some more Liberators in AG mode, and this is going to take the base. Going to be scouting up north. Do find the new gold base for sheer bits. Going to have to try to snipe this out. More drones coming in. Trying still long distance mining. Need that econ. Braincrusher is going to get the snipe on this next server here. There's nothing to defend. I don't know why that was pinged. Sheer bits having to push back up. Even Liberators getting snipes on the drones. These Liberators are 2-2 now, which means they do ridiculous damage. Going to be moving by. Roaches and Hydralisk caught a little bit off guard. Liberators a little bit out of position. There are a couple Cyclones and Hellions here going to be moving in, helping support this. Do need to get these Liberators and move them a little forward and focus at the lower end of the ramp, then they will not be able to come down. Still micro with the Cyclones. Couple Hydralisk here. Roaches trying to come pick stuff up, but there are more and more Hellions and more things being rallied, and they do not have the econ to continue playing this game. We should expect the GG here shortly, morphing into Hellbat mode, getting ready to move in for the final push. Liberators moving in, going to be locking down that ramp, and then they have left the game. GG. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you next time.